to this guy in the drafting phase. It feels like every team is already throwing so much at him when it comes to these bans too. So it is tough, no doubt.
And in some weird way, like, it almost felt like the puck was set for success despite the line pick, because suddenly it was like, hey, there's this Lion Wyvern. There's 2 juicy targets for puck to go on. Like, yeah, you've got the insta-hex, but like none of the other cores threaten the puck. So it's just like, okay, well, Void Spirit's supposed to. But
eventually.
Yeah. It just felt like every single fight, like Lion Wyvern were the ones getting jumped on by puck. Like, neither of them was able to cast their spells half the time.
Yeah, I mean, we're so far still not seeing it being banned out. Is it going to get through is the question. I mean, there is a bit of a change this time. Oh, no, it will go through. Wyvern is the final ban, but this time around, RNG, they are on the dire side, unlike the first game. So perhaps that could be the key to the lineup that they're trying to run here.
Yeah.
Dire is strong, very strong win rate across most of the regions.
Yes, the solved Liquid, or sorry, the solved OG strat, rather, that was done by Liquid theoretically. Well, all you do is pick Razor, and they lose. That was the theory, I believe.
Yeah, there's the 3 heroes, you ban 2 and pick the other.
Yeah, it's not bad. Everyone kind of caught on to that one, though, and then OG, they started beating it. So we'll see if the old playbook versus RNG, for RNG rather, versus OG will work out for them, as they're going to face the Marcy and the Lone Druid. Speaking of Team Liquid, looks like something they've been running.
Yeah, taking a little bit of inspiration. I mean, OG, this is not their first time playing the Lone Druid, so we're going to see how it fares. With the Marcy, very strong combo. The Spirit benefits so much from the rebound. It gives you some setup and catch as well, which is something the Lone Druid sometimes suffers from, getting kited. That was an issue Liquid had early today in the series. They lost despite being ahead. It was like despair, and it was great hitting buildings, but come team fights, nobody was ever like locked down in place to actually help the bear hit them. So
yeah, and we're seeing a lot of bans on this Dazzle in the second phase, so I'm going to pick it up now. Can't help in case you wind up in some lane versus the bear as well. Obviously, it's a little bit helpful, but overall, just going to be a super solid 5 that's sort of base level, deals with whatever offlaner is going to be there. Because we're talking about dealing with Amar in terms of like during the drafting phase, at the very least, you can try and handle his lane by getting one of these stronger position 5 heroes for actually zoning and punishing and trying to at least force him to the jungle at some point. You know.
Yep. One thing that's going to happen likely now is probably Seb doesn't get his Shaker, but assuming RNG ban it out, I'm just kind of curious what he's going to end up playing, because, you know, Shaker, Wind Ranger,
you know, I think
it's going to
be Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
I see a Razor, you know. Yeah, I feel like he wants it.
Has he given up on the IO? Is he no longer an IO believer? He's just going to give it to Taiga from now on.
It's definitely still fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that too. Could be an option. I mean, they're going to ban the Bristle themselves, so we will not be seeing that pairing at the very least. And of course, the puck, despite, you know, we talked about it being there, not being picked up. Right. So away the hero will go. To everyone's applause.
We're finally not going to see a puck in this game. But, I mean, there's still some really strong heroes available. Do we know, or how do we feel like as far as RNG's confidence facing against the Lone Druid, and what are they going to try to do to not allow like some of the enablers besides the Marcy like through for them?
We saw a really rough game from a Lone Druid this morning with LGD versus Liquid, where they ended up going for the Snap Tide in the second phase versus the Lone Druid, which was really interesting because Matu struggled hard that game. He did a total amount of damage that was bad. It was like the I think Sharpshooter from their position 4 on the Hoodwink did more damage than the Lone Druid Bear the whole game to enemy heroes. Okay. It was rough. He literally just got ravaged every fight, occasionally twice, sometimes 3 times when that refresher chart came out, and he couldn't really play the game because it's hard to like fit the BKB in there right now with the AC and the Basher. So I'm not sure if they need to go that far on RNG, but there's definitely options versus the Lone Druid. There's also potential Sidekick plus Lifesteal shenanigans with the Lone Druid, so any of those like heal reductions could be an okay idea here as well for RNG.
It does feel like some kind of big team fight is often what's good against Lone Druid, because this is a hero that wants to, you know, play fast, take objectives, push your towers. So having a way to defend your towers generally comes down to having that big team fight hero. Or you need that like Timbersaw or tanky hero to, you know, plop in front of a tower to defend it.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, we're seeing the Zeus banned out on top of the puck as well. Now for looking into RNG side again, I'm a little curious. Is this something where we've seen them run the Void and all of that stuff, but they have been like one of the teams that kind of likes the anti-mage like coming into play? Is this something that we could potentially be seeing like later?
I don't think this game. I think it's pretty situational. Like they played it into a lot of in heroes. I think it was a Medusa, as well as Puck that game or something. I think against Lone Druid, AM terrible. It's probably one of the worst matchups for AM.
Okay.
But watch them just, you know, pick it now and make me look really dumb.
No.
Love making bold statements on
Yes,
panel.
that's what we like. That's
Yeah.
what we're here for. Now, not so bold to say that they don't want to see Wind Ranger.
10
Right,
seconds
it's super
remaining.
understandable here. Just something that Seb's proven himself on and would be very annoying with a Marcy in tow. I feel like those two are very similar in how slippery they can be in the mid game, where when we're lacking that hero like a Puck, or maybe you don't find that the lane matchups can be preferable for something like a Void Spirit, then it can be really hard to lock down someone like a Wind Ranger or a Marcy in these situations. They just keep escaping and getting away. So now we have OG with this last ban here, going to set up for their pick into the second phase, and that's where the pressure falls back onto RNG, where they have to go for this double pick that we just love so much. And by love so much, I mean feels really bad, I feel like, when you're drafting. Because you need a super solid idea there from RNG, because then you get counterpicked twice in a row by OG. And that's why this next pick for OG it's so important, because you want to be open, but at the same time, you don't really want to give away too much yourself, too. You really want to, like, nail RNG here.
This is where, like, just picking, like, your Seb support, that doesn't reveal a whole lot. Maybe
And
makes
there's
sense.
the IO.
There we go.
Yeah.
Good
Are we
point.
concerned about RNG not having any catch yet? Like that, I feel like that's something that they're going to want to look for, especially with the IO now in the pool.
Well, you know who catches people? Goes on down fishing at the brook. Be that there Pudge. See, Pudge, Agnes,
That
heal
is-
reduction, Marcy, Lone Druid, IO, all right.
A mid putt.
Listen, AA is Garbo, so
I was
we
thinking
gotta
some
find something
anti-heal.
else.
What about Venomancer?
Venomancer.
This is Sonics, you know. They bust out the Venomancer.
That's when you're in trouble. You need a little bit of poison for this bear here, but
I mean, it's definitely doable. Now, I mean, we're seeing the Underlord coming out once again. That is sort of a catch, but is it good enough, or are they looking for a little bit more?
I do like the Pedalov versus the IO +1. It's super simple. It tends to be a lot of these like Agi heroes with the IO as well, so you're probably going to get a lot of value out of the attribute aura as well. All right, cut that down a little bit.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, this seems like just let's be able to make sure we can defend some of these objectives. It does mean they kind of reveal that the Razor's probably going safe lane. I guess could still go mid, but we've seen almost exclusively side lane Razors.
Yeah, we don't want to go in that mid lane. That doesn't feel very fun. So it probably means we might need like a... well, I guess it depends how you want to play the Razor. We saw slightly better scaling come out from Tundra when Skitter played it, where he had the Mask of Madness early, which was really nice compared to these ones that have been more pressured and just getting BKB refresher, and it feels like they're kind of wandering through the game and like making their way to these bigger items. It takes a long time. So maybe he'll find
Another
something a little bit
catch
faster. And
right there with the Shadow Shaman.
another hero they're also just grabbing again from last game too. You know, it's
They just
like,
really love their hexes.
just pretend it's lion, okay?
Okay.
It's the same thing.
It's the same.
It's
just
lion that takes
different
damage.
animal.
Yeah,
It's a little bit of a different animal.
Slight upgrade, if anything.
True. It does have that tower push to pair in with the rest of the roster here, and to kind of counter and slow down OG's own push from their side with the bear. And I guess if you're OG, this is your, the favored protected pick, so to speak, like coming into play. What sort of out-of-pocket, perhaps, considerations they might do here, or are they going to do the comfort that they need?
It's where they often pick a Mars hero, is what at least we usually see. He can pair with either Io or Marcy, so there's a lot of flexibility. And I say that, it looks like it may not be a Mars hero.
Or it could be.
Yeah.
We have the flexibility.
Flexibility,
coming
yeah.
in here.
Usually, BZM's bad rider the other day,
Yeah.
like 27 kills in like a 30-minute game or something. It was,
That's hot.
yeah.
10 seconds.
I would be down for some more of that. So,
Well, if it looks like they're wanting to have a lot of fights here, right? You have the catch, you have the bear come in to wallop a little bit on the side of RNG, kind of the same thing. If that is not a Mars hero, then is it possible that we're still going to be seeing, I don't know, like I've seen him play Slaughter, even Mars, who has just completely disappeared.
Yeah, I kind of like the Mars in terms of a hero that would look kind of nice here. Like got some like ranged issues happening with the Razor, and then I think this idea of just trying to help the Lone Druid actually be enabled. That's what I've seen the hero struggle with, is it doesn't have the option to actually just sit there and hit the heroes. And if you're not doing that, it's not that strong of a hero, it turns out.
yep. No, I'm totally down for what you're saying, Trent. Like, get some more team fight control. Yeah, they'll get the benefit of seeing what this mid matchup's going to be. So maybe what ends up happening if they decide mid matchup is not going to work for Batrider, they can send it to the off lane.
And that's what they're doing with the bans, right? They take care of that Queen of Pain. And like, what else really even does that well versus bad? With how the jungle works now, and we've heard players talk about the mid lane in its current state, it just feels like there's 6 heroes mid at 6 minutes every game. So that I guess that's when it ends. Apparently that's the end of the mid lane, because we all run mid and we're all just fighting now. So it's pretty difficult to have a super stompy situation in the mid at this point.
How are we feeling about a Void Spirit?
Just a middle of the road.
Yeah,
You know?
just like
Yeah.
somewhere middle of the pack.
Void's
maybe.
usually the like, we need something that has catch and
Yeah.
does okay in lane. It's kind of like the boring spirit in some ways.
Aw.
And when you're feeling flashy, you pick Ember because you're like, you know what? I gotta carry a little hard this game. When you're doubting your draft and there's still one pick left for OG,
Right.
that's when you take Ember.
What about the other two? Okay, now there's like a spirit rating, and I'm curious to find out. Like, I mean, it is something we've seen OG pick in the past. Is a storm spirit.
Storm is safe
that's-
with IO. That's
that-
allowed. You
yeah.
gotta pass.
Yeah, that is super flashy.
Yeah, but no IO, no pass.
Right.
You don't get to pick it.
Okay, so it is
Maybe a
possible.
coddle. Okay.
Yeah.
It makes it somewhat
Pugna,
okay.
borderline, but
Yeah.
Pugna's
Pugna. She's talking about heroes. That's what happened to that guy.
Is that a spirit? I'm like, what?
Yeah, this moment in the
in
sun.
this, in this
yeah.
one moment.
It was glorious though. You could just ult in everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coddle's banned. Give me Pugna. That was a good time.
I mean, Night Stalker was the other hero that I was like, perhaps, but they finally removed him, and I mean, it does feel like, at least from RNG's perspective, they're still concerned perhaps with maybe they're not sure if this Bat Rider is going to be a Mars, so they're kind of flip-flopping.
They're expecting mid bat, right? And that
Yeah.
I think is most likely for sure. I just don't think there's any mid matchups that really deter the Bat Rider enough right now. Like there are some, like we've seen the Storm and past patches do pretty well. The Embers also seems to go kind of 50-50 or
Yep.
even sometimes slightly win. It's like very skill based, but none of the matchups are like, oh, Bat Rider screwed. We can't send him mid anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I'm feeling the Ember. I think that's where we're going. If I've had to take a guess here. I feel like the control at this point is relatively low. I think the offlaners that are good versus Ember are also pretty bad at this point, other than Slider and Night Stalker, because you think about like Legion Commander, trash. It's like that hero's just not showing up right now. Of course, now they'll pick it and win. That would be great. Please do OG.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Somnus wants a W. That's where I would send him.
And then at least the question is like, yeah, what does Amar get his hands on? Because a lot of the IO partners being banned out, so
Still Mars.
Still Mars.
Mars IO'd up, you know?
It's been a while. I mean, is he on the ban list? I don't see him. I mean, he's also run the CK before, but I don't
oh yeah.
I don't know if that's something that they'll feel comfortable with. But I mean, maybe it's an illusion battle now. That's a PL last
Whoa.
pick coming out.
Can we get a mid Underlord?
Uh,
Is that? I guess you can't really. That sounds kind of dangerous versus Bat, though.
There were some mid PLs back in the day, like way
Yeah.
back in the day. I don't think it's.
I
mid-PL,
mean, you
but-
would
You
match
just
up versus
nuke
the
things down.
Bat, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can
I
get
feel like
rid
I-
of the sticky, but I still feel like you get run over
Yeah.
and chased down. But
I mean, I assume it's Anna who's playing it, so I.
yeah, of course it's Dana. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do here.
Yeah.
Very curious.
It's a monkey king.
Now select your
So they're just saying like, okay, if you send that Underlord to the off lane,
Yeah.
or we get that matchup, you're not gonna be very happy. And so, yeah, Somnus will be on the Razor, BZM on that Bat Rider. So I feel like this Razor is gonna have a bit of a rough go in terms of there's you miss out on a benefit of Razor of like having a strong laning phase and trying to punish, trying to get these kills. On the other side, at least you get more of that scaling potential because we talk about how like poor the Razors have been.
So are you saying this is a 2-0 for OG?
I don't know if I go. Yeah.
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 Gods?
I'm definitely liking OG's draft. I think the PL's been very hit or miss.
Yeah.
The wins it's gotten has been LGD, so I think you kind of have to scrub those ones off the record. LG is winning with everything. So, yeah, I'm with OG this game too.
Ooh, well, I guess we will find out soon enough if OG can take down RNG to a 2-0 victory here. But to take us to those storylines, it's going to be Gareth and Lacoste.
That's right, almost a carbon copy from one of the OG drafts previously, right? Swapping out one hero with numbers above his head for another one, Slardar for Monkey King.
Yeah, this is the almost exact same draft that they played when OG played against Team Liquid, and it was a very one-sided game. We're talking about what pretty similar to what happened in OG RNG game number 1. It was a 22 minute game. BZM completely exploded on a Bat Rider with the Shard Witchblade build. Monkey King Amara, I guess they needed something that like a little bit more AoE against the Phantom Lancer and a good pairing with the IO. I was thinking about Huskar before Phantom Lancer was showed. Looked really good, but after PL got picked up, then it was a no-go. I also want to see the mid matchup, Somnus against BZM, because BZM did pop up. He did pop off completely in the previous game. Maybe,
In a slightly unfavorable matchup as well.
Yeah, and he might be inside Somnus's head.
Maybe. I mean, Seb definitely was inside RNG's head in game 1 as well.
Maybe intentional?
Maybe. Oh, maybe it was. Not quite sure. Well, Seb was definitely in their heads in game one. He was perfectly positioned on his Earthshaker. Everywhere he went led to kill on kill. And OG looking now to really cement themselves as the slayers of RNG. As we get ourselves out onto the map here in game two. OG, of course, one game to the good. A beautiful draft. As RNG have picked a Phantom Lancer, and I'm not going to lie, it's not one of my favourite heroes. I very rarely see him
What
win.
if
But
Ana is playing it?
that was the caveat. It is in the hands of Ana. We'll see what he can do. Because it looks like potential for him to be mid lane against the Batrider, is there? Or are they just going to put him safe lane and leave Somnus?
Looking at the items, Somnus is going to be playing the mid lane.
Okay. Oh, the Boundless. And the Dispose. X-Nova. Handing first blood over to OG, and already a beautiful start as the tips will flow.
This time around, Taiga will not get the first blood, so no pings coming out from Amar. He's very satisfied that he is the one getting that first blood.
Amar, the first blooder. Somnus guarding that bottom rune. Seb is pinging it, saying, yes, bring numbers. Chuck the high five out there and see if anybody responds. And it will be 3 runes for OG. Kaka getting the only one there for RNG. And Kaka already being chased back towards his tier 1. And a few, there are some lane swaps going on, though. Hey, Lacoste, Ana's down bottom.
Teams. And is this a tri-lane?
Oh, it is.
Chalice on the top lane against the Lone Druid. Oh, man, Lone Druid's... I think Lone Druid's going to be fine playing this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, what is this bottom lane from RNG? Like, Phantom Lancer with Doppelganger Illusions, Shadow Wave Bomb, Shackles, a bit of damage coming out. But
never mind. They tried to see what's going to happen, potentially try to grab first blood. But, yeah, this bottom lane, Monkey King will be playing against Phantom Lancer, so Jingu Mastery on top of PL. There's going to be a lot of healing. This is the killer lane for OG, and a lot of sustain. I don't think they're going to be able to put any pressure on Monkey IO.
Jeez Louise, look at that, 10 stacks of napalm on Somnus. He's got to get out of the reach of BZM.
BZM, Batrider zoning me. 10 sticking up palm charges, you can't get close.
Oh, man. Tiger taking a bit of a beating top lane. And we see the triple slippers from Uragi again on this Lone Druid. Something that it feels like he's trying to pioneer here with his item build. Because we usually see, a bunch of branches, tangos, and all that good stuff. But he does like the right clicks and the extra bit of armor coming through on his main hero.
Yeah, and you can turn that into raid bands later on, so no real value lost.
Yeah, always a nice little shift there. As we see the odds shift, favouring OG. I think it was the other way around for game 1, but the tides have turned. Uragi's bear very low, but should be able to resummon, as you can hear him roar and come out of hibernation. Return with full health. Dire Sentry out there does block the large camp, so no pulling or any nonsense from OG. While in that mid lane, 5 stacks again up on Somnus. Firefly from BZM, a TP back to tier 2. Somnus not allowing any of that to happen, while Tiger dies to Chalice up at top. Lone Druid chasing with the bear, but the Underlord is under his tower. And Kaka forcing the hero back as well as they try to focus the
kill the
Spirit Bear.
It's 300 gold, but I'm looking at this mid lane. Somnus does have more CS, but in terms of region, he is suffering. He also used his TP. Bottom lane, Amar, 10 and 5. Ana has 9 and 2. It's gonna, as time progresses, it's just gonna get more difficult for Phantom Lancer.
Some revenge there from Tiger and Uragi, getting that sidekick going. I think the bear has done. Oh, no. I stand corrected. Bear is back in Fountain. Perfectly fine. Yeah, he's all right. And once again, Amar, you'd call him the carry in this game, right? He's playing position 1 in the safe lane, getting farm priority up against this Phantom Lancer Dazzle lane, doing incredibly well.
Yeah, I expect him to get carry items, like no shenanigans. He might get like either full Gleipnir, or if he wants to go full greedy, you know what time it is. It's Battle Fury time. You're playing against Phantom Lancer, but I wouldn't mind seeing Gleipnir or Mjolnir.
What about the Hand of Midas, Lacoste?
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, he's not a fan of that. You listen now, Twitch chat, you buy Hand of Ice and Monkey King. Lacoste is there, scouring out your dirt.
There was a
In comes Amar.
1W.
They've got the overcharge on him. X-Nova just being pummeled into the ground. No mana remaining, so can't heal, can't grave. And Ana, he's got no doppelganger. His Wraith Band in his backpack. He tangos up, but he's dead, and a double kill to Amar. Beautiful stuff from OG, really swinging the bat into RNG early on.
This lane's done, and look at the amount of farm that is approaching to Amar on bottom lane.
Oh, so a double wave coming in. Oh, he's going to be a monster. 18, 19, 8, tons of CS, top lane jump in. The Dispose catching out Karkar now, and OG's early aggression really dominating the laning stage. If we wanted a team to emerge that could start defeating the likes of RNG and LGD, it appears that OG might just be the squad to do it.
Oh,
Boundless strike.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. That's how strong this lane is.
Is Ana dead as well?
He's dead. He doesn't have a doppelganger. He doesn't have a creep to go with the Phantom Rush. He's trying to go on the side to go potentially for the big camp, but not going to happen. Good body blocks from Steb.
Just imagine your ex-captain, your best friend, he's just body blocking you, allowing this young upstart, the new member of OG, Amar, to kill you.
Yeah, Ana already off to Amar's 5-0, 5 minutes in. How's that possible? He got that first blood and now has enough for phase boots.
That's got to be illegal.
They need to swap things around. I mean, Ana doesn't get to play Dota in the bottom lane.
But Somnus getting some vengeance in the mid lane, BZM. His life is claimed by the Razor, and Seb's rotation comes just a fraction of a second too late. Ana, yeah, the relief there with the well played and the smiley faces as they communicate through chat wheel lines. 22 and 8 on Somnus Razor. Getting something here for RNG, but we see the rest of the cores really struggling to really pick up any semblance of farm. TP into mid, maybe a go here on Razor. They don't have a great form of initiation though.
Lasso about to be available after 2 creeps.
Yeah, back up top, the sidekick bear. Again, something we've seen OG run from time to time, and the resummon comes as Tiger and Uragi. They're pairing up under this tier 1 with a full wave approaching. Catapult will whack the tower, and well, Chalice will drag the wave while Ana dies again down bottom. Somnus with a good rotation top does swing into action, but 11-3, you've got to see the sweat dripping down the RNG players' faces right now. They're struggling.
I would be struggling as well and sweating because Amar is level 6.5, 6 minutes into the game. Ana comes back for more. Agent Ana. Level 3 at the moment.
What, 7 minutes in, yeah. BZM was eyeing up Kaka for a second there, but deciding better of it.
I think he regrets not having Doppelganger to be able to get out of the trouble.
For sure. Seb gonna wander into X-Nova, but he's setting this up for Amar. Finding yet another opening. The grave is there to buy a bit of time, but this will only delay the inevitable death of the Dazzle. 0-4-0 on X-Nova currently.
Back to the bottom lane they go.
Find the Phantom Lancer.
I mean, Ana might...
He might just
Ana
die
might just
again.
die underneath the tower.
He's got Doppel now.
Yeah,
found
he's
the
dead.
strike. They'll found the real one. They know he's got Jingu over his head. Amar.
They need to help him out. Where's the TP rotation?
It's coming in now. Dazzle should be able to TP in Grave. He'll get the heal Shadow Wave, but Amar is going to get one more
He's
hit
not
in.
ready.
X-Nova, the Grave on cooldown still, and Amar is going to Wukong's command to zone them away.
This might be the best Monkey King performance in the first 7 minutes of the game that I've seen.
And he's definitely not buying a hand of Midas. Chalice has come down bottom to place his body into this meat grinder that OG are turning RNG into sausage right now. 8 minutes in, 13-3, they'll get some consolation prize with a kill on Tiger, and Chalice, he's being dived again. Amar there, and they're going to try and run across the BZM, but the Underlord caught out with the Boundless Strike. And OG dive and pummel RNG into the ground. One by one, the Dominoes topple.
And on time, gets relocated back.
Under attack.
RNG is the team that will GG out early on, as we've seen in the previous game and some games in the
They're coming back.
DPC tour. Yeah, they're coming back.
They're here again. Kaka X-Nova from the west will come in to try and deal with Omar. The shackles and the poison touch with Somnus draining all of his damage. They've got the tether and the heal coming in, but Omar finally dies.
Maybe a bit too greedy there. They thought there's not going to be enough, but playing behind Tier 1, Tier 2 tower, they already placed an observer board here. So not a usual observer board, but that's going to scout things out. And now Ana, 0, 5, and 0, running to the top lane. Usually when someone has 0, 5, 0, we see them running down the mid lane.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I mean, Tier 1 top's already dead. So at least he's got a bit of safety in the dead lane. But look how quickly OG understand that objectives are key. Move into mid lane, Tier 1 after Tier 1. Well, you're right, Somnus, he's been found. And guess who it is?
It's Amar. This sidekick, I love the build on Taiga. Maxing out that sidekick with Monkey King and Jingu, and also using that on Spirit Bear plus Tether on top of that. This Lone Druid or Monkey King, they're gonna go nuts. This might be the most hero damage ever done as a Monkey King in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, we very often talk about synchronization of item timings, of levels, of experience, of lanes, and things like this. But we very rarely nowadays talk about this cycling of synchronization, where early on it's Io with the Monkey King. Later on, of course, we'll get that Io and the Psychic onto the Lone Druid Bear as we transfer the priority from the Monkey into that Lone Druid. Oh, BZM, though, he's been shackled up. He doesn't have Firefly, so he looks dead up in this top jungle, while Chalice, he is dying elsewhere on the map, being picked off by the remaining members of OG.
Tower's gonna fall on bottom. That's an Echo Saber, Phase Boots, Orb of Corrosion, Raid Band, Monkey King. I think Amar at the start of the game said, let me carry, I'm boosting. Just let me get stuff done, and it shows.
Yeah, why is he not dropping his chat wheel light?
He's heavily focused.
So
Amar the focused.
Amar the flipping brilliant right now. 17-6, and a TPing bottom to try and match Amar's aggression. Chalice will hold out that wave. But Dire Triangle fully belongs to OG. They'll steal Ancients. They'll create a nice little base camp for themselves, while Tiger, he chucks Somnus away. Maybe a deny on Roshan. Beautifully done. Seb relocating Amar in now. Somnus with a decent amount of stolen damage. Does have to be wary, Amar, but the two now Boundless Strike. X-Nova finally gets the grave for the Wukong's command. Big old circle in the midst of the battle. Seb relocates them out again. And Chalice, even with that jump in with the portal, not able to do it.
BGM will get a solo on Shadow Shaman. I don't think they're going to be coming back anytime soon in this game. 6k gold lead, 18 kills on OG. They came here to play.
Insane performance. They are getting some response out of RNG though. BZM, he's being picked off by 3 heroes surrounding him, but he gets one before he dies. And now X-Nova jumped upon, rebound in from Tiger, looking for the dispose, and he will find it. Oh, is that Ana? No, Ana.
No,
Ana.
Yes, that's level 1 Doppelganger. Amar's not stopping. He's going underneath the tower. He does not give a fuck.
Oh, Ana.
Get in there.
Oh, Ana. Okay, Ana. He's fine. TP's back to Fountain. Very fortunate that the rest of OG weren't quite on the same page as Amar. And Chalice, high five?
High-fiving. He knows high five's gonna come.
Well, they're picking him out. He gets the tower to high five him in the end. Now Pit, Firestorm in, Kaka, Serpent Wars with the tether across. Sep moves in to save Amar, and this Monkey King is beating into the Shadow Shaman right now. They've got that Graves by a bit of time, but Uragi arrives. The additional core, the carry comes in and gets a double kill.
Garrett, I think this might be the fastest game of the tournament, and there it is.
It's over!
I said,
it's 13 minutes in!
RNG is the team that will call out GG when they feel like there's
what the
nothing.
Bloody hell are we just seeing?
Nothing to be done. OG playing turbo mode in this one. I mean, this has to be one of like couple of records broken on a Monkey King. The way they set up the lanes was pretty OP. We said at the start of the game that you know, this lane for RNG is not gonna do well, but definitely didn't expect it to go this way. And yeah, panel will need to hurry up because they definitely didn't expect this one to happen.
Oh my goodness gracious! You know, I was maybe half joking about thinking about teams coming in to defeat China because they've been so solid at the top of the table, first, second place, LGD and RNG.